Every now and then we meet parents whose stories actually remind us why we do what we do. Today I have a mother with us who moved from Kalsi to Clementown just so that her little one could get the best of education. It's a story about courage, faith, and watching the child truly blossom. I have with us Mrs. Nidhi Handa today, who is a parent of Punya, and she has been associated with Punya since a few months since Rabia joined us. And I give a lot of credit to mothers who manage single handedly everything for their own child and do something extraordinary for their kids to be extraordinary. When we talk about Mrs. Nidhi Handa, what pulled me towards her was the fact that she moved all the way from Kalsi to Dehradun here, Clementown, so that she could bring Rabia to Punya. So I want to really know from you now, Nidhi ma'am, what made you take that decision? What were the things that you're looking for in a school, and how did it happen that you moved just for Rabia at this young age? Because usually parents kya karte hain, they feel कि when the child grows up, then we'll take this step and so on. Taking such a big drastic step at such young age, what made you do that?
Well, thanks for having me here, ma'am. Rabia has been uh, here for a few months now, and I would say I have seen a beautiful transformation in her. So, whatever move I have made, it seems worth because this is what I wanted, and Punya has made her so confident, and the results that I'm seeing here is something which gives me the satisfaction that whatever steps I took, they turned out to be fruitful. So yes, it was a big move, but at the end, it's worth it because as a parent, I wanted to give Rabia a strong foundation, and Punya has made this step of mine really helpful because whatever a parent expects from a child is something I'm getting here at Punya. So, so I don't think the move that I made was that big because every parent like wants to give the best to their children, and so I wanted to do the same. And yes, I had few things in my mind that I wanted to give Rabia an environment where she's very comfortable and a school where she wants to go happily and there is no morning dramas where a child is crying and cribbing and doesn't want to go to school. So I wanted to give her that environment. And thanks to the teachers of Punya and the environment here at Punya that she doesn't want to go home.
And that's the best
Even,
part.
even on weekends, she tells me she wants to go to school.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
I am happy and I don't think my step was that big then.
So now it doesn't seem that big because it's already been taken,
Yeah.
and now you see the worth of it. Uh, if you remember, while we were talking admissions, we also spoke about the fact, I think I would have said that to you, that I want all of my kids to be happy. When they come in, they're coming in with a smile.
Yes.
They should go back with a bigger smile. Do you see that happening now?
Yes, of course, I do see that. And I'll tell you a very small thing. Like in the morning, it's winter mornings. Even we don't want to get up from the bed and get ready and go somewhere out. So same is the case with my child. But I have a small point that triggers her from getting out of the bed. That's her tiffin. So if I tell her, Rabia, I have to go and make tiffin for you, she just pops out of her bed and let's go and cook something, Mama. What are you making today? So she's so excited to go to school and especially her tiffin part. So it's not that tough for me now. So I am happy that she's happy to go to school. So I get those 3 to 4 hours of my life wherein I can dedicatedly do some other work.
I'm sure.
So I'm very happy and there's no such tension in back of my mind that what she must be doing in school. Would she be crying or would she be sharing? So I'm very satisfied with that thing. So she's happy here. She wants to go to school. No dramas of not going to school. And she loves her teachers and friends. I must say, so sharing and caring is what she has learned here. She was a child who would never share.
Oh, is it? That
Yes.
change that has happened.
Yes. So she is our only child and the most pampered one, I must say. So she doesn't want to share
That
anything.
comes naturally to them. If it's a single child,
Yes.
they will be pampered.
They are pampered
Yeah.
and she doesn't want to share. Even today, She has some specific things she doesn't even want to share with her father also.
Uh-huh.
And it's okay. Like mothers, we are so close to kids because we are the primary caretakers. So they know, okay, we can share things with mothers. But when it comes to fathers, so Rabia is very strict there. No, there's something which I can share with mother and not with father. So it was like just the family members where we had been seeing these things with Rabia. But now when she's in the school, in the early few days, yes, her teacher, she told me that, ma'am, she doesn't share. But that's my job. Don't worry about it. I'll take a special care of her and I'll make sure that she starts sharing. And now it's been like 3+ months here and I can see that change. She loves sharing and sometimes she carries some snacks in her tiffin. So she tells, Mama, sharing and caring. Okay, so I will share my things with friends. I'm like, okay, then you can take the chocolates or you can take candies in your tiffin, else not.
Do you remember last 2 weeks back, I think, we did Kindness Week, wherein they all got their own toys. Was Rabia there in
Yes,
the
yes.
activity? Rabia was. So purposely we do all these activities, and especially when it comes to toys, because kids of this age, they're very possessive about their toys.
Yes.
And their belongings. They do not want to give it to anyone. And we made the whole school sit together. They were sharing and passing around all the toys. Whatever toy they could get, they would hold on to it, and the other person whom it belonged to would come and speak for it. So these small things inculcate values in them. And then there was another activity that we did which surrounded around the terms of them giving. So these are the values that we want kids of Punya to have in themselves. We want them to inculcate कि easy है देना rather than just taking and taking, because kids are mostly by themselves these days. And you being, like you said, a primary caretaker, you are managing Rabia all by yourself.
Yeah.
And hats off to you for doing what you're doing, because managing work, managing home, managing a child, it takes a toll on you. And I see a lot of positivity coming from your side to Rabia. So, like I've always said, it goes hand in hand. You as a parent cannot solely develop the personality of a child, and we as a school cannot do it individually as well. When we work hand in hand, then it works for the best. Having said that, we see Rabia very happy. And there is a lot of positive change that has happened in her. She would always be a happy girl, but now she's even more happier. The way she just came and met you and went off to her class speaks volumes. Because if I talk about schools and kids of this age, kids would generally see the parent and start crying.
Crying, exactly.
And that is something which does not happen here. And that's the aim that we have, that the kid should not be crying. They should be happy to see their parent. And they should have a sense of belongingness to the school. Ye bhi mera hai.
Exactly.
And that gives them that safety. Do you have something to add on to it?
See, yes, as a mother, I wanted to give her the best. And my search for schools and everything started way back long when Rabia turned 1. Because I knew the next thing is searching for a school wherein she can start her education journey. So I have I have been to many schools. I have seen the environments. So I won't compare because every school is different.
Yeah.
Their atmosphere is different. But what made me choose Pune was their holistic approach and the kind of environment they have here. The structure is such that the child is not lost in the crowd, right? So they won't have huge number of kids in one class and one teacher taking care of the entire class and a child is lost somewhere. So I made a decision to move away from the family. So I had to make sure that Rabia is getting the maximum attention. Absolutely. And I am a working mother. So I am in into my office job from morning 9 to evening 6 and sometimes to 7 it gets extended. Thank God it's a work from home opportunity for me and I am working from home. But still I stay very busy with my office and it becomes difficult for me to give her the entire attention of mine. So I had this thing in the back of my mind that Nidhi, you are moving to a new place. You're taking this decision. Will you be able to manage everything? Because here I have to manage my house, my office, and my child
By
all
yourself.
alone.
Yeah.
Right. So even my friends, I would say they ask me, how is your child staying calm all day and you're working? You don't even have a house help at home. You don't have a nanny. How is she managing?
So I would say you're doing wonders.
I don't know, I am doing wonders or it is Punya. We both together, I must say. Because even I am surprised that it was not that difficult for me to adapt into a new atmosphere, new society altogether. And when I'm working, yes, sometimes she gets cranky, but most of the time, she'll take her toys, she'll start playing. She'll take her colors, she'll start painting. She'll wait. She's developing those patience, which I have never expected my child to develop in just an age of what, 2.5?
Yeah.
But she's developing into an amazing, amazing human being who knows that, okay, I need to be patient since my mom is working. When she'll be free, she'll give time to me. Even if when she's hungry, she'll come stand politely next to me and she'll say, Mama, kuch de do khane ko.
How sweet.
So that is somewhere I feel, oh, Nidhi, you just forgot you have a child there at home and you have to cook something for her. So, yes, I think school really plays an important role, and it's very important to judge all the all those points and to prioritize your child's unique needs. So my child's unique need was attention.
Right.
And here at Pune, she's getting that.
She's getting apple of.
Yes, I see how like the teachers here are fantastic. They put in a lot of efforts into, bringing up every child here, and they make every child feel that they're supported
Yeah.
and they're seen. So none of the child gets neglected.
So we don't want any of our kids to get lost in the crowd.
Yes.
So that is something that we want to build in the future as well. We want to maintain a particular strength in a manner that the teachers are able to give what we want them to take. See, it is very easy for me to fill the classes and take n number of kids. But why we take limited number of kids is for that sole reason that the child should not be lost. They should be happy and connected with the teacher. If they are connected and they have a sense of belongingness, then it creates a difference, and that difference is visible on Rabia for sure.
And I would say like mine is a Hindi speaking family.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm working. I am educated. My family members, they're all educated. But we primarily speak Hindi. We don't speak too much English at home. But back of my mind, I wanted my child to be very fluent in English.
That comes naturally.
Yes. So although I am not speaking to her too much in English, but sometimes yes, but I wanted to send her to a school wherein she learns speaking English. But expecting that my child would speak fluently in English at an age of 2.5 is foolish. And I can't expect that. But I remember one incident. We were at Rabia's grandparents' house and we were climbing stairs. So the house elf there, she was cleaning the floor, and Rabia just said, "Excuse me, auntie." How nice. I looked at her, and even her grandmother, she was like, "What did she say?" I said, "She said, excuse me." And we were so shocked because we were so happy.
He's finally using her magic words right.
She started using those words, excuse me, thank you, sorry, and which is enough.
Yeah.
Enough for 2.5
If you
years.
walk into her class, there is a whole display on it.
So this is what is expected, right? And I'm getting that, so I'm happy with that. No matter, yes, the society will tell me that you should have waited another year, stayed at home. You should have let Rabia stayed within family and enjoy those relationships. I agree to that. But then at the same time, as a parent, I know these are the golden years wherein I can put in my best to give her that strong foundation. Because at these primary years, it is very important for a child to understand that school is a place where she's going to learn and not just learning to stay away from parents. Because even today, I see our families and society, they say you should send to a school just for a purpose that she starts staying away from you. So that's not my purpose. I don't want her to learn staying away from me. I want her to stay at the place where she wants to learn. She develops a habit of loving
That
to
is
learn.
powerful statement though.
Yes.
Because I see that happening all the time. Parents, and it is a general tendency. Detachment issues भी होते हैं, and parents want कि मेरे बिना रहना सीख जाए,
Yes.
मेरे बिना ये करना सीख
Yes.
जाए. This is what usually happens. But when you say you took a step intentionally towards her education and towards the right kind of education that you want for Rabia, the right kind of holistic approach, that gives me more trust on the thing that we are doing here at Punya. that yes, we are on the right path. We are catering to the solution that was actually needed. And when it comes to Rabia, I see tremendous scope because the way you are treating her at home, she's learning to be independent there as well.
Yes.
In school, she is always treated as an independent adult, and that routine creates the energy in a manner that at home also she follows it, whether it is English speaking, whether it is trying to come to you to speak politely. All those routines have been inbuilt in their daily systems, and they'll keep on drilling on them, so they learn even better. In overall, I would say she is doing wonders, and she will keep on doing wonders because she's got you and she's got us. So the growth will be tremendous.
Yes, of course. And I would say that parents should not just think that school is a place where you are sending your child, you're paying a certain amount of fees just for education. But if even parents they start considering the school faculty as a family, they can bring a lot of changes in their kids. Like I would say, I wanted Rabia to get potty trained. Right. I was doing things on my own and I wanted her to be diaper free now. Maybe like every child, every parent, they have different approach. They are comfortable sending their kids with diapers on till the age of 4. Many parents are comfortable. It's their individual choice. But I wanted that now it's the time when she's starting to learn uh, washing hands. She's learning eating on her own. This is also an important step that she should
Every milestone.
it's a milestone now. And I was little scary about it because I did not want that she's going to school and wetting her pants daily, something right. So one day I spoke to her class teacher. I said, ma'am, I want to start this training. Right. And with a very happy face, she said, ma'am, we can start it anytime. So even she guided me, ma'am, okay, let's do it this way. You send her for a week with diapers on, but we'll start sending her to washrooms in intervals of time. So hats off to Shivani, ma'am. She has played a really important role in this. And we're still all in progress on this journey. And she has learned now to tell Mama, I want to go and pee. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
This
Yes.
is also
Just like any other family member, the teachers here, they understand your problem.
so. I've always said that my teachers are like mom's second mothers to the
Yes, they are.
and that's the role that they perfectly play. No, they are not miming it, mimicking it. They believe it in their heart that they have to be the second mother, and they take care of the kids in such a manner, which is absolutely beautiful to watch. Even I have always said, you come and observe one of the classes. You'll see so much of love, so much of empathy, so much of care in the atmosphere that will just melt your heart. And yeah, that's about it.
Every small activity at Punyam, initially when I joined this family, just in a month's time, I started getting these things. Okay, we have the Dashera thing here. So we have this day out here.
Yeah.
So just like any other parent, I was like, oh, this is all something happening everywhere in all the schools. This is so trending. But I actually learned one thing that on the Dashera play date, I was here and there was this whole puppet show sort of thing happened. I wanted my child to know what is Ramayana, who is Ram, who is Sita, and we also inculcate all those habits and all those learnings and thoughts to our kids. But it takes time for them to understand and learn. But after that half an hour puppet show, we went back, and the same day we went to her grandparents' home. She told everybody she met that, there is a Rama, there is Sita, and Dadi, Rama took Sita. So this is something, she learned.
Remembered and she learned.
She learned from school, not from me,
Yeah.
not from any other family members. So I thought, like, as a parent, we sometimes think, oh, these are the activities, school is just intentionally doing it for some purpose. But no, you will later realize that all these activities are really helping them.
Indian culture is actually very rich, and it has been. It was just forgotten, and we want to tap on back to it. So whenever we celebrate something, it is never just for celebration. Yes, we like celebration, we like colors, but there is a deep meaning attached to it, and we want our kids to know that meaning. Because if they don't know, they cannot carry it on. It will be forgotten soon.
Exactly.
We don't want that. So as a school, it's our responsibility that we impart those values, those traditions back to our kids. as parents also, I think it is our responsibility to tell our kids, right, that this is how you should do it, this is how it works, or why was Dussehra celebrated, why was Diwali celebrated, why do we celebrate Navratras, what is the meaning of it, and all of the different festivals, because like I said, it's very rich in culture. So coming back to school and just celebrating is actually wasting time. Why don't we dig in deep and know the meaning? So, if you remember, we also did the story of Narsimha here.
Yes.
The teachers enacted a whole play.
Yes, they did.
And the kids, some got scared also because there was a lion moving around in the school and some were crying. We took the risk, but it enabled the kids to know more about Narsimha, of why this happened and the whole story behind it.
That's really nice. And, I would like to tell the mothers here that, like me, I am new to this place. Not to the city, I am born and brought up in Dehradun itself, but this place is completely new to me. So I don't have a huge social circle here. So whenever any activity happens in Pune, they invite parents. So I don't feel left out. So I can enjoy those festivals here. I can celebrate with community here. So I'm happy. I don't go to kitty parties. I don't have much friends here. So I am happy I have a community of my own here where my child is also growing and I'm also learning. So being a little selfish, I would say all the mothers who feel they're single at home, please come send their kids to Pune. So they will naturally have a community here.
Well said. Let's close this conversation. I have one important question to ask you. You have said that you're a working mother, and yes, you just said that you sometimes feel left out. Now you have a community. What is one message that you want all working mothers to have when it comes to raising a child? Maximum time by yourself.
To all mothers, I would say first of all your child. I agree the child is born in a family, brought up by the family members, but at the end, it's your child. You and your partner have to take major decisions for your kids. And education is very, very important. And the crucial decision of sending your child to a right school in a right environment is something parents have to take. So please close your ears. Don't listen to what your relatives or the society will say or what they will think. At the end, it's your child. Take the best decision. Explore n numbers of options you have. All the schools, all the teachers. Go around, talk to teachers. Look for the environment. And if you get an answer that yes, this is the place wherein you can send in your child, and you will get that community, the feeling of warmth and care for your child, just go ahead and take that decision. Amazing. Beautifully put. Yes. That's only suggestion I would give to all parents. Because after these initial 5 years of your child are gone, you will regret if you have not taken a
These are
right
the
decision.
foundation years, and if we cannot decide in this particular duration, the time is just lost.
Yes. So build the foundation of your child very strong so that your child remembers what all steps you have taken when he or she grows up, and he'll be very thankful to you because you have taken the right decision for your child. That's it. That's all I could say.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Val.